Hi, everyone, and welcome to week 4. This week, we're diving into a really critical area of child development, and that is infant and toddler cognitive development. So while last week we focused on infant and toddler physical development, this week we're continuing with infants and toddlers and their cognitive development. So all the things that have to do with their brains. So this week, we're going to explore how young children learn to think, how they understand the world around them, and how they solve problems. Um, Hopefully their problems are pretty simple at this point, but they're not simple to them. And they've got to learn to figure them out. So we'll look at key cognitive milestones like object permanence. And I can remember when I was young and first learned about the concept of object permanence for small children. And I just thought that was so fun to think as you'll read about, it's when they realize that when they can't see an object, it still exists. And it's just that aha moment. I just remember being so fascinated by that. They go from this time in their lives where they don't realize that to where they start to realize that. And it's why games like Peekaboo are so important, and it helps teach them that. So even what seems so simple has such an impact. So, like I said, key cognitive milestones like object permanence, imitation, and early problem solving. You'll also learn about the role of play, which you've already learned about how important play is. We covered that in the Child Development Professional, and I told you then that we will talk about it throughout the program. But we'll learn about ways that play builds cognitive development, one I just mentioned, and interaction. And sorry, to continue that sentence that I had started, you'll learn about the role of play and interaction in nurturing cognitive growth during these early years. So we're going to focus on how infants and toddlers process information, how they develop their memory, and begin to understand cause and effect. So pay special attention to how these early cognitive skills are going to set the foundation for all their later learning and their academic success as a whole. So it's a really important time developing a lot of skills they're going to use throughout their lives. So let's take a look at the activities that we will do this week to help focus on these things. I'm going to share my screen with you. And I didn't mean to start there at the end, so let me go back to the beginning. Not that close to the beginning. Here, the beginning of week 4. All right, so you have your start here screen, which is where you found this video. And so hopefully you've already kind of looked at what we hope that you'll be able to accomplish by the end of this week and the course objectives that you're going to meet this week. And we're going to do that through reading chapter 5. If you downloaded the whole book from the textbook page in the first module, then you already have chapter 5 and you can go read it from there, or you can download it here, or you can just open it on your screen using this, but that might be a lot of flipping back and forth. Of course, if you prefer print, you can print the chapters. That's one of the nice things about these books is that even though they're digital, you can print them. I certainly recommend downloading them and keeping them forever because you might want to reference them for other classes. You might want to reference them in your career as, there might be a problem that comes up sometime that you say, I kind of remember learning something about this, and go back and see what the text said. And they're free. So why not download them and keep them as reference for your career? So reading chapter 5. Part of your assignment. And then you have these videos about cognitive development in infant and toddlerhood, language development in infancy and toddlerhood. Language development is a part of cognitive development that we're going to touch on some in this course, but later on you'll have a whole semester on literacy and language development. So we don't spend tons of time on it here, but it's not because we don't think it's important. It's so important. We have a whole class on it. And then theories of learning memory. And then you'll get to see some of these things in practice in some of these videos. And you've got your quiz. And it has questions over the chapter and over some of the videos. So just make sure you're, taking notes while you watch those, or you could try the quiz once, I guess, since you get 2 attempts, and then know what the questions are going to be when you watch the videos just to help you, but however you want to do it. So this is a kind of quick assignment, I think. It's only worth 10 points, but it's not specific infant and toddler. It's specific to infant and toddler development. It's just now you're starting to learn some about development, and that might interest you enough that you might consider another career that has to do with child development besides teaching. So we're just going to do a little career exploration, and you're going to look at this list of career options to choose from. This will open. Okay, so if you still want to work directly with children, here are some options. If you'd rather work with families, if the health and nutrition part really sparks your interest, or if you are interested in serving through special ed, here are some interests, some areas. So, which could still be working directly with children, but not all of them are. So anyway, just look through this list, see if there's something that interests you, and then do a little research about it. If you have an alternate career that's not on here that you think relates to child development, just Canvas inbox me and we can see if that would work. Then you're gonna just type out this list. What's the career title? Which one did you choose? Give a brief description of it. What interested you about it? Why did you choose it? And then what are the basic requirements for the career? What would you need to do to get to have this career? Would it require a certain amount of education, like an associate's or a bachelor's or even higher? Would it require classes at a tech center or some kind of certification, so forth? What would your basic daily duties be? What would you do on a day-to-day basis? Where would you work? Would you be in a classroom? Would you be in a counseling center? Would you be in a hospital or at a public school or some kind of private practice? And something you found interesting or would enjoy about this career. Maybe you really like that it has some flexibility and you're not committed to one classroom all day. Maybe that's something that you like. Or maybe you just really like that you would get to work with an entire family and the siblings even, and not just one child. Something that you might not enjoy. Maybe you come across something that would be a challenge for you doing this job that you still might think it's worth it, or maybe you discover definitely don't want to do this because of this. You can share that. What would the general salary for this be? Try to find Oklahoma specific or wherever you think you might be working when you did this job. And then share the sources of information. So if you use websites, you can create hyperlinks that take me straight to those. It is certainly acceptable to interview a person for this. If you know someone who does one of these things, you might as well talk to him or her and see if you can get a lot of your information from there. You might still do a little bit of searching just because you might want a broader picture of it than that, but you certainly can say, I interviewed my child's school speech pathologist for this or something like that. So whatever it is, if you're uncomfortable asking them about salary, I understand that. If you're not, say, hey, it's for a school project. Do you mind telling me what you make? But if you're uncomfortable, that's fine. Just try to look it up and find it somewhere. So that is our second assignment for the week. Our third is the discussion. And as you see, there's going to be a video here to talk more about that. So those are our 3 assignments that have to do with this week specifically. Then we also have a couple of assignments that are related to our key assessment. They are not due for 2 weeks. You've got 2 weeks to work on them, and they each have a video within them, so you can look at those there. I skipped the bonus. You're certainly welcome to give me your feedback for this week if you would like to get some bonus for that. And then this kind of caps up the week, and you can look at it there. So thanks for watching, and please check out the other videos.